And welcome back, everyone, to the ESL Legendary Series. And here we are, the last best of 5 in the quarterfinals. And it is Amaz from Team Archon versus SirKristjan, the kind of underdog, I would say. He 3-0'd StrifeCro in the round of 16. Kind of a bit of an upset, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, that was certainly an upset. But on the other hand, SirKristjan is a player that's experienced with card games, and he's writing articles about Hearthstone. So, you know, he's been around, he played the game. It's like he didn't build up a name for himself. And right now, and he's a free-to-play player. Like, he never paid for Hearthstone. Right now, facing Amaz, one of the most recognized players, one of the most decorated players, that the winner of IEM Shenzhen, that was last year.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing, too. Like you said, a free-to-play player, someone who's never spent money on the game. And a lot of people, you know, say, oh, I'll never be able to reach such lofty heights unless I spend a lot of money. And no, this is proof that you can get there by just playing, too, that there's other options. That's really, really cool. But StrifeCro, in that round of 16 match, seemed like it was a little bit unprepared. He tried to bring out the Paladin 3 times in a row. It didn't work. But now the real test begins for SirKristjan. Can he beat a player like Amaz, a player of Amaz's caliber, of his, you know, resources, his talent, his popularity? It's going to be, I think, a pretty big mountain to climb.
Oh, definitely. Also, the question is SirKristjan going to bring the same lineup? Because versus StrifeCro, he had 3 aggro decks: Mech Mage, Mech Shaman, and Face Hunter. Everybody expects SirKristjan to like copy the same lineup and try the aggro out again. But if SirKristjan mixes it up and then brings like Freeze Mage and Rogue, that will be totally different.
All right, well, here we see the lineups in ECOP. What do you think about the class choices for our players?
Yeah, as you've said before, Gnimsh, SirKristjan was known for being StrifeCro with 3 aggro decks, right? And Amaz, with the classes that he chose, especially that Priest, he really wants to prey on that weakness, kind of, that is playing 3 times the same type of deck. If his warrior build and his priest build is kind of built to beat aggro, and if the mage is, for example, like let's say freeze mage or something like that, that's a little bit stronger against aggro than his build of a mech mage would be, then he obviously has the best odds to just maybe 3-0 SirKristjan. I definitely give the favor to Amaz in this matchup.
Do you think like it was hard to predict that Amaz is going to bring a priest?
Not really. I mean, he brought a priest to pretty much anything that he played in.
It's Amaz, man. He always brings priest, right?
Yeah, but then again, SirKristjan knows he's playing Amaz, so he might have actually mixed his decks a bit. And with the aggro decks, you can still win. Even if there is like 90% chance, you have this 10% chance to win.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll have to see who's going to be able to take it. Looks like the match is beginning, guys. It's time to get into game number 1 between Amaz and SirKristjan here at the ESL Legendary Series Finals. Priest versus Hunter in our first game. And let's check out the mulligans. I'm excited, man. Priest, you know, it's fallen off a little bit in GVG. People are trying to figure it out, but it really makes me kind of feel the same thing as we did when Hearthstone first came out, too, is that Priest just seems to be the class that takes the longest to figure out.
Oh yeah, certainly. This is a very difficult class to play, and in many situations it puts you on the spot to make those difficult decisions, especially with the Pyromancer and Pyromancer plays. Right now it seems Amaz has a very good hand with the start, with Pyromancer, Dark Cultist, but then SirKristjan, well, that's the Face Hunter.
Glaive Zuka, man, that kind of says it all right there. So it is Face Hunter versus Priest, and not a bad start. I mean, ECOP, do you think you play the Pyromancer fairly early if you have that Power Word Shield? What do you think?
It all depends on the kind of Hunter deck you're facing. If you're playing against a mid-range Hunter, you can certainly play it early just to trade it with the minion, but if you're dealing with a Face Hunter that has a lot of 1-health minions, it's alright to save him.
Oh, well, we drew a Northshire Cleric, though.
With the Power Word Shield in his hand, he definitely has the options to just save the Pyromancer.
Yeah. Well, Northshire Cleric is definitely a strong draw there.
Yeah, with Northshire Cleric you can just play it and maybe Power Shield, but here again it's so difficult to make a decision. Like, what do you do? Do you Pyromancer coin doesn't make sense. Just playing a Pyromancer, be able to lose it, also doesn't make much sense. So just developing a Northshire Cleric that will be able to trade, draw you a couple of cards will be the key. Amaz still doesn't have a turn 3-4 play. He did mulligan the Dark Cultist away, but with Pyromancer he might be able to contain his board.
All right, well, turn over to SirKristjan now.
Let's talk about this matchup a bit. Like, ECOP, can you brief us? Like, how is Priest versus Face Hunter? You said that is a good matchup. Why is that?
It actually all depends on the amount of healing you have. That's what it all comes down to in the end. because the priest can control the board all he wants. Eventually, if he doesn't have enough heal, he will just die to the burst from the hero powers and the kill commands and the weapons. So and the chargers, to speak of, like even the chargers. So there's a lot of burst in Face Hunter. So priest, all it comes down to is the amount of healing. How many Light of the Naru does he play? Does he play Holy Fire? How many Holy Novas?
Well, there's one right now.
How many Taunters? That's all that matters pretty much. And with a hand like Mind Control and Double Shadow Word Death, Amaz definitely seems to be in a tough spot in this situation.
Yeah, Shadow Word Death is not going to help out too much against Face Hunter, that's for sure. One turn away from that Holy Nova as well. You know, at least he can get a little bit more draw off of the Northshire Clerics. 2 mana, getting that Dark Cultist. Well, there's a Zombie Chow that'll help him maybe sustain a little bit, but the board is already looking a bit scary for Amaz right now.
Oh yeah, certainly. And on the other hand, having those Northshire Clerics at least gives him a chance to draw into something that he can use. But with the Pyromancer, he doesn't have that many spells that he can abuse the powers with. And SirKristjan knows that, hey, as long as I keep pumping the minions, I will have enough to maybe burst through it. Also, playing those minions by Amaz, it only empowers Unleash the Hounds in SirKristjan's hand. So, you know, it's dangerous, as you said, though.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, SirKristjan just wanting to go to Face so much, it is Face Hunter. It does kind of force Amaz to play himself into a worse Unleash the Hounds a little bit later. For now, though, looks like he is going to clear some of those clerics. I mean, there's one, you know, part of it's setting up the Unleash, part of it is making sure there's not as many draw opportunities for Priest as well. And Amaz, he has a huge hand. He's got tons of cards. You know, can he find something clear off this board?
Well, right now it's definitely looking scary. I only wonder if SirKristjan is also playing Pilot of Shudders. That's a recent addition to Face Hunter to be able to set up a bit more board presence. But right now he has a lot of burst. Amaz is at 20. If Amaz is able to contain the board, and he just did, just clear the board, he will be in a good spot because he's going to pump minions, he's going to heal back, and just respond to whatever SirKristjan plays one by one. And eventually SirKristjan is going to run out of cards.
Yeah. More damage to Face for Amaz. Getting down to 15 now.
Amaz, on the other hand, though, you have to consider Amaz has run out of heals in his hand and is at half HP already. He does have the Sludge Belcher to try to stay alive a little longer, but if Hunter draws an Owl or something like that, then that could be devastating.
Well, it looks like he's a little bit stalled out this turn, talking through what his options might be, perhaps.
SirKristjan is definitely really stressed. Like, we can see it as his face. He's trying to go through all the plays right now. I think this is his first land, even though he's playing other card games, normally at the halls with against other people. Yeah. Still, sitting at the booth is a totally different experience. Normally, you sit next to each other, like playing those card games and duels. But here, you're alone. You're closed in a single environment, different from home, having a noise cancellation set on. It's going to be really stressful.
Well, part of it, too, is you've got this big audience in front of you, too. You know, you look over the top of the monitor, and there's all these people watching every move you make. So for someone that's coming in through the qualifiers like that, especially against a player like Amaz, that's a lot of stress. But speaking of stress, Amaz still, you know, he's stabilized a little bit, but he's at 13 health. You know, what's the way you come back here? Do you just drop the Dr. Boom? What do you think?
Dr. Boom would definitely make the Unleash Hounds from SirKristjan devastating as hell.
True too.
Oh boy, I can't imagine Dr. Boom being the right play here. But what else do you do? How can I deny you to ever heal yourself again? And maybe you just drop 2 Pyromancers and heal yourself back up. Maybe that's the play.
Well, Dr. Boom is an option if you assume there is no Unleash the Hounds. And if you feel like you can't win the game in like a couple of turns, if you can't heal yourself, Hunter still has a chance.
Yeah, at what point do you just kind of need to go for it, Priest, right?
I like what he did, like develop 2 more minions. Unleash the Hounds is still going to be very powerful, but you do use the heal. You want to top yourself up. Hunter can burst. There's Animal Companion for SirKristjan. How much damage is there really?
A lot.
Yeah, quite a bit. Let's see. How easily can he get rid of the Sludge Belcher?
Oh, gets the Huffer.
He does. That'll take out the first charge of Sludge Belcher. There it is. Well, thinking about it.
We are also forgetting a bit about the secret. There is Explosive Trap, and that will make Amaz not attack or like to lose the board. He will have to continue trading. And Amaz doesn't have a ton in his hand, so right now going for this Belch is really important because SirKristjan will be able to push damage and develop the board at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to be able to do a minimum of 5 more here. That's going to bring Amaz all the way down to potentially 7 health. He's actually just going to attack with the weapon, not waiting for that secret to get popped. And Amaz is in a lot of trouble now. 7 health, still no more heals. He's got some creatures on the board. He can clear it.
He doesn't even have a way to proc the Pyromancer, which...
It's actually over. Even if Amaz clears the board, SirKristjan has 9 damage in hand.
Yeah, Arcane Golem, kill command without a beast. That would be 7, and plus the hero power is 9. That's right.
Amaz can heal for 2. That's 9. He's dead.
Yeah, looks like Amaz, no way out of this one.
Right away.
Even if he clears the board, enough in the hand of SirKristjan to take this first game. And SirKristjan going to end the game actually at 30 health.
Thanks to
That
Zombie
is
Chow.
it. Yeah, thank you, Zombie Chow.
That's an amazing feat. And that's... well, Face Hunter can win versus everything. And
Absolutely.
Priest is not getting eliminated, so Priest will still be a very powerful deck versus other aggro.
Certainly will. And there's the Arcane Golem just waiting for the rest of it now. The damage put onto Amaz. There's the kill command. And with that hero power, SirKristjan, he upsets StrifeGrow 3-0. And now he is 1 game up on Amaz as well. It's getting a little bit crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy, and such courage to bring 3 aggro decks. Because I assume this is the same lineup. We haven't seen the mage yet, but could you assume he brought a freeze mage?
Who?
SirKristjan?
SirKristjan.
Like change mech mage into freeze mage.
That would
mix
be
things up.
like
That's
next
very-
level, man.
I mean, if he's a free-to-play player, then I assume he will not have played as much Freeze Mage.
Wow, actually you're right. He
It's a
might
good
not
point.
even have the cards.
It's a good point, yeah.
He might not even have Alex Straza.
So, well, it is, you know, generally, if you do that, it is much easier to go for some of those earlier aggro decks, right? Zulok, the kind of stuff you can build with a lot of the cards that you have access to a little bit easier. But either way, up a game. We'll see what it is. We'll see if Amaz, he's still, like you said, he still has a priest deck. This is Conquest. It's not going away. So I think he's got a pretty good chance to come back. But we'll have to see, guys. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll see if Amaz can tie things up against SirKristjan here at the ESL Legendary Series. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series. Here we are in our final best of 5 in the quarterfinals. I'm Doa. With me is Nimsh and Ekop. And what do you know, guys? SirKristjan 1 game up on Amaz. What do you think?
Oh man, if he's going to free Amaz with aggro decks, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Reddit will explode.
Well, I am, like, Amaz is my good friend, and I definitely want to see him win. But then again, SirKristjan is an aggro player, and I'm rooting for aggro players. So I'm kind of confused right now.
You're conflicted. Are you conflicted too, Ekop, or is it more crystal clear for you?
I'm not really conflicted. I'm unbiased, obviously. And yeah, I predicted Amaz to win. I'm still stand by that statement that I predict Amaz will win, because this is Conquest after all. And it's not like last Hero Standing where the matchups could just snowball based on one deck countering every deck. And,
I mean, well, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a format, I think, that does favor the better player, right? And no denying, although SirKristjan is talented, Amaz has experience. He's the veteran. You have to give him the edge, and he's going to try to go for it with the Priest again. Priest versus Shaman in our second game here. And I think we were talking during the break, we're kind of assuming this is going to be
a Mech
Shaman. You think so? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mech Shaman is a very aggressive deck that SirKristjan played in the round of 16, and he piloted it beautifully. He had a lot of success with it. He won versus Shivecrow. And this is a deck that also can ignore the cards.
Yeah.
But I think the players are ready. We can jump into the game right now.
Well, Whirling Zap-O-Matic, that kind of gives us our answer right there, doesn't it?
That's a Sith. You know, he has red lightsabers. The normal one, not golden one, is a Jedi. It has green lightsabers.
Oh, you're right. I never noticed that. Wow.
Wait, is the non-golden one actually green lightsabers?
Yes, like
wow.
The non-golden one is Jedi, this is Sith.
So is that like subtle suggestion from Blizzard that Sith is better than Jedi? Wow, that's dark,
definitely.
man. That is dark.
I was talking to SirKristjan before the match started, and he told me that, all right, a lot of people say Dr. Boom is overpowered and there's very powerful cards, and he said, I don't care about it. I just go for face.
I just go for face. I like it. Well, Ecop with the, or rather, Amaz, not Ecop. You're sitting here casting with us. Ecop is wow, where am I at? All right, never mind. This is Zombie Chow. Zombie Chow in the game. It's been a long week, guys. It's been a long week.
Yeah, Zombie Chow definitely putting a stop to any aggression that Shaman can put on the board. It's really good for Amaz if he can just kill off the Whirlwind Zap-O-Matic with the Zombie Chow immediately.
Yep.
Because it can be very hard to deal with for the Priest. And the Whirling Zap-O-Matic is often enough, actually, the thing that decides the games for the Mech Shaman.
Yeah, if it can get through once, 6 damage that much early on really does make it hard to come back against it. Do you think you still have to play it even with a Zombie Chow out though? Or can you go ahead and go for that Annoyatron instead?
Well, I think he will have to deal with a Zombie Chow at some point anyway, and now he's going to have a really hard time doing so because of the Velvet Chosen. He will have to use a Crackle in order to deal with it, and it can backfire. 25% chance to backfire.
Yeah. All right, the Crackle is going to hit for 6. So the Zombie Chow, the buffed Zombie Chow is dead. Pretty good start for Amaz with the Zombie Chow and Velvet Chosen, because Mech Shaman, the same as Mech Mage, can really snowball. If you get those early mags, the Wind Zap-O-Matic, if you can buff it with something like Flame Tongue Totem, you deal tons of damage, and then you finish your opponent with Burst. Right now, Amaz is the one who is dictating the tempo. He is the one who is trading, having bigger minions on board. So SirKristjan is coming from behind. Shaman, even the Mech Shaman, still has problems coming from behind because you do want to buff your minions. You want to be the one having the advantage and attacking, not the one trying to trade into and save yourself.
Yeah, it is looking much better for Amaz this game. We saw Vol'jin just enter his hand last turn as well. Power Mace in the hand, but
it's not bad. He can play it and kill the one Freed and develop a small Annoyatron.
Yep.
Power Mace is going to buff the mech next turn. He has the mechs to play. He will actually have 6 mana for Pilot to Shredder and Whirlwind Zap-O-Matic. A buff Zap-O-Matic can deal a lot of damage, but then again, there is the Shadow Word Death for Amaz for the turn 6.
It'll be a Sludge Belcher turn for Amaz. Takes the Divine Shield off the Annoyatron. Now Tinkertown Technician, not a bad draw as well.
Oh, nice play. He's actually buffing the Annoyatron, 100%, no randomness there. I'm going to kill the Sludge Belcher. And a building at the board. This board is pretty scary already.
Yep.
No clear for Amaz.
Yeah.
So the Annoyatron will die to the slime from the Belcher, and then he can still deal with the Zap-O-Matic by using the Dark Cultist in the reverse order, obviously, because he wants to buff something with the Dark Cultist.
All right, of course.
So not a bad turn for Amaz, but what do you play? You have you probably want to keep Vol'jin for something bigger like Dr. Boom, but then is it Belcher? Oh, he's actually...
Well, he can do 2 damage with his hero power, yeah. I mean, it could conceivably be board clear, I suppose.
He's attacking the Shredder first to see if there's a better 2-drop than the Zap-O-Matic to target the hero power, which there isn't.
Recombobulator is not the best.
I think it's hard to find a better 2-drop target than the Whirling Zap-O-Matic as far as what you want to kill fast.
And there is Dr. GG.
Yep, he's in the hand, and here he comes, Dr. Boom, out on the field for SirKristjan.
But the Vol'jin is waiting, and now is the perfect time for Vol'jin to strike in combination with the Orkanite hero power, just dealing with any kind of minion, no matter how big it is.
But you still get those boom bots to work. On the other hand, Vol'jin getting a 7 toughness mark is huge.
That's pretty terrifying, especially when the minion that gives it to it is going to die immediately. There's the hero power taking it out, and only a couple boom bots on the board right now for SirKristjan. Doesn't quite have that crazy tempo that we saw last time, but can he make this work? He's still got a hand with some decent cards in it.
It's more about minion trading right now. He got the Rock Biter. It's not bad. He will be able to combine it with a one bomb attack. It also depends where the bomb lands, and that's 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Not terrible, not the best. He still can clear this Okanai Soul pretty easily.
Oh, only one on Zul'jin though. That one hurts a little bit. You really want the 4 when it's a 7 mana or 7 health minion like that.
Well,
just playing the Harvest Golem.
That could have definitely been a worse outcome for SirKristjan, though.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Boombots, he definitely dealt with at least 1 minion, which was possibly, which he might have had to use Rockbiter if the Boombot hit anything else.
Amaz can play, like he can even play Sylvanas now. Do you play Belcher? Yeah, I think Belcher is better because you are able to stop those minions and keep your Vol'jin, heal your Vol'jin, just keep the board. Right now he doesn't have to be in haste because SirKristjan doesn't have a scary board, only 3-4 cards in hand.
Yeah.
You know one of those cards is a spare part. It's not like he's going to burst you out of it, and you are just safe.
Well, this is that point in the game where a deck like Mech Shaman starts to sort of lose its steam. You know, I mean, you haven't been able to quite maintain board control. Now anything you play is going to be really weak compared to what your opponent should have on the board at this point.
Yeah, Mech Mage is definitely, Mech Shaman is definitely known as the deck that runs out of steam the fastest. It's the crucial turns. The crucial turns for the Mech Shaman are the early turns, turn 2, turn 3. If you end up using Whirlwind Appomatic for no damage on turn 2 and using a Crackle to, instead of bursting your opponent down, to use it on a minion, then you already know that you're far behind.
Yep.
And this is pretty much, the writing's been on the wall since those early turns already. All Amaz has to do here is smother the board, deal with everything that SirKristjan puts on there, and he will definitely win because the top decks that this type of Shaman deck has are not good enough.
Yeah, also SirKristjan had to use the Rock Biters. Now the big question is, what are the bombs in SirKristjan's deck? Is there Neptulon? Is there Alakir? Is there Ragnaros? I don't think there are. Maybe Neptulon is a possibility, but mostly how this deck wins is with Doomhammer, Rock Biter, just go for face, Lava Burst it to like top it off, and with stealth in hand, that's not enough.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of Neptulon in Mech Shaman, right?
Yeah, like you can play it, but mostly you just go with their early pressure, buffs, Flame Tongue Totems. I think there is like more dead cards in SirKristjan's deck right now than bombs.
Oh, there's the Doomhammer, but again, without that Rock Biter weapon, it kind of lacks that burst. And both of the minions for Amaz, too, out of range for him to, you know, take it out unless he uses both attacks, and that's a lot of damage. You're definitely not going to do that on anything Amaz has.
And just look at Amaz's health, like 27 health, it's no way near any type of lethal.
Mech Warper from Piloted Shredder, he gets a mech, that's something.
Yeah, Mech Warper in a Mech Shaman deck. It could be worse, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit too late this game for SirKristjan to come back. Light to the Naru, the draw for Amaz right now. And he has still got pretty firm control over this game.
Amaz right now just needs to patiently dismantle this deck. He can even prolong the game because he knows that he wins with Priest. His Priest will be eliminated, but then this Mech Shaman is going to come back to face his other decks. So you maybe want to see a couple more cards being played, so are you sure that there is no Neptulon, no Alakir, no Ragnaros? This is a lot of knowledge you can get.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, he can kind of draw this out, can he?
That is a good point indeed. And SirKristjan has to, like, if he's thinking about it, SirKristjan has to consider just conceding early because, he just doesn't have anything to close out the game. This Amaz can pretty much do whatever he wants, and he will not lose this game, I would think.
Gonna play the Lothab. Of course, you take out the Mech Warper. Can't leave that alive. And Light of the Naru going to be used to bring out a Light Warden there. And a little bit more healing. So now you have another 3-2. Like, the board is just way past out of control. I mean, you don't want to call it early too much, but I think we can say this one is safely over.
Oh yeah, definitely. On the other hand, SirKristjan doesn't have to be really upset about this game.
Oh no.
Mech Shaman is a deck that can win versus other decks that Amaz brought, and you know, just winning, like losing versus this Priest means that Priest is out of the way, so you won't have to struggle against this heavy anti-aggro deck anymore.
That is true, and I mean, Amaz, you're really the only person you would expect to bring Priest. We'll see if we see, well, I suppose this is the last quarterfinal, right? So no other Priest besides him in this tournament. And so at least once it's out of the way, you can get to more, maybe more of a normal match that you'd expect to play.
There's also no other shaman besides SirKristjan's shaman.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, wow. So either shaman or priest are going to be eliminated from this tournament after this match ends.
Completely. It's more than just Amaz and SirKristjan. It's the classes themselves that have a lot on the line in this match.
Thrall versus Anduin. Who is going to win?
Totally Thrall. Come on.
We also know that there's no more
Thrall is
Warlocks in this
Madsen.
tournament. Both Warlocks have been eliminated too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Life
Wow.
Coach and
James.
So get ready for a lot of Hunter. A little bit more damage onto SirKristjan there. On his last legs, there's a bomb lobber.
Oh, that's a card that Amaz wants to see.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not a standard card, and if SirKristjan decides to play it, that will be a lot of information from us.
He is. At this point...
Oh, I almost thought it was going to hit Sylvanas there.
Yeah.
See, now, honestly, if I was SirKristjan, this was the point where I would have conceded to just not show the bomb lobber.
Yeah. I agree.
Sylvanas is going to take the spell damage, show them doesn't matter at all. And SirKristjan is just stealthing. Oh, so now he's hiding the bomb lobber so Amaz can't see it.
Forget about it, Amaz. You didn't actually see that bomb lobber. He's hidden. Just a gray circle of not bomb lobber on your opponent's side of the screen.
Well, Amaz has a lot of damage there. He can still develop Azure Drake. The Crackle is not a bad card as well. Amaz is countering right now. Amaz is not very good with math, as we heard. And,
Hey, I can relate to that.
I mean, he has his own path of math.
His own path of math. Let's see. Getting a little bit more spell damage from this Azure Drake. He could drop that Crackle at any time. Looks like he's going to use the Circle of Healing, though.
With Thoughtsteal, he will be able to clear those. Oh, Crackle.
Oh, yeah, that's lethal, man. If he hits it, it certainly is. And that Pyromancer takes out the Taunt Totem. He's going to be able to get in there for the damage, and Amaz ties it up 1-1. The Priest gets the win, but this is Conquest. Now the Priest is gone, so things were a little bit crazy. I feel now maybe we'll return a little bit of normalcy in this match, huh?
Who knows? I mean, the Warrior, depending on the build, can also be very good against aggro decks.
True.
And we still don't know Amaz's mage deck, so yeah, I guess we'll find out next game.
Yeah, well, the heat is certainly on. Amaz versus SirKristjan, all tied up, guys. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we're going to see who takes the lead in this best of 5 here at the ESL Legendary Series, brought to you by Intel and HP. We'll be back. And welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series, all tied up between Amaz and SirKristjan, 1-1 apiece in this best of 5. Amaz taking a win with that Priest deck, so we won't be seeing any more of that in this match. But now, our next game, what do you think we're going to see the players pull out?
We have 2 mages. We don't know what the mages are. My assumption is this is Mech Mage and Mech Mage for both players.
Could be.
Amaz played Mech Mage Infinity. SirKristjan played Mech Mage before, and as we consider, he doesn't own an Alex Straza card, so it will be hard to build the Mech Mage, the Freeze Mage.
Yeah, when it comes to Mech Mage, if both players have it, then it's anyone's game. I still give the edge to Amaz, though. He is the Warrior. I think it should suit up well against the Mech Mage and the Mech Shaman that SirKristjan might have here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Amaz knew that he is going against SirKristjan, and SirKristjan was playing aggro decks. So what do? You bring those anti-aggro decks, as Ecop mentioned, and you tweak them to be even more anti-aggro.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that is one certain thing, is Amaz did have a little bit of maybe easier preparation, or preparation rather than most going into this one. It looks like it will be Mage versus Shaman. So SirKristjan sticking with the Shaman, and this Mage, we'll see if it's mech. We'll see what exactly Amaz has in mind. See if he can take out.
It's a very interesting matchup, Mech Mage versus Mech Shaman. I think Mech Shaman has a small edge there because of the weapons, because of the Power Mace. So if both players curve out well, and there is the Mech Mage dealing with mechs, then Amaz won't be able to get the mech synergy with the Blast Mage. But on the other hand, if there's no weapon, one of the decks can just snowball and win right there. The mechanics are really similar for both.
Well, I think it's mech for both players. Looks like it. We see Mech Warpers, Snow Chuggers, Tinker Town Technicians, Cogmasters everywhere. That's about as much mech as you can get in 2 mulligans I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a lot of mechs. And double Cogmaster is also very important and very powerful for SirKristjan here.
Oh, yeah.
Amaz has to mulligan most of his hand, but he gets Mad Scientist. Oh, wow, double Spider Tank, and he has the coin. That's really powerful.
That is a really sick hand for Amaz, because the Spider Tank especially is very annoying to deal with for a Shaman. Shaman with the Rock Biters, with the Power Mace, just doesn't have any effective ways to deal with those Spider Tanks.
And there's that Mad Scientist dropped first for Amaz. SirKristjan, we'll see what he responds with. But again, yeah, like you said, those 2 Cogmasters, a lot of early power with that Mech Warper. And of course, you're just going to drop that.
Yeah, just drop the Mech Warper, get that secret out of the way. It's still a pretty good card for Amaz to get that Mad Scientist, and on secret is going to provide him with at least 1 minion. We know that SirKristjan has this small Cogmaster that's going to get copied, and in many cases, a Mirror Entity can lock the game plan.
Yeah, in 2 similar decks like this, that little edge can certainly be the thing that gets you that game-winning board control.
Okay, this is very smart play by SirKristjan, giving Amaz a seemingly better minion, but it cannot really do anything on Amaz's next turn because it can't attack.
Yeah, very true. And whatever comes out next to it, ideally, SirKristjan is planning on handling.
And mostly Mech Mage is not running taunts. There is the Anoyotron, but you've seen Mad Scientist, so you hope that there is no Anoyotron and just getting a free kill here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he decides to throw down. I mean, I suppose he could go Mech Warper, Snow Chugger. Would that be giving away a little bit too much, you think?
Mech Warper and Snow Chugger definitely looks good, and you know that Mech Shaman is not running a Lightning Storm, or if it is, there's only one of those cards. It's like super confusing, by the way, looking at this board. Cogmaster?
I know, right?
It's like, is there a mech in play?
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of interesting stuff. We've seen Malorns with not Druids. It's been very odd.
Yeah, Malorn is a very good hunter card.
Yeah. Malorn is a great mage card, apparently, too, we found out.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, what's the play going to be? SirKristjan taking a bit?
Yeah, it's between Mech Warper and Snow Chugger or just a Spider Tank. But I guess putting 2 minions on a board is a little bit more effective.
Oh, yeah.
In case Shaman actually does have something to deal with a Spider Tank, which he has actually with a Crackle.
Oh, a second
Flame Tongue Totem, too. Yeah, suddenly that Flame Tongue Totem that's been sitting out there is even more useful.
Can he clear the board, though, or can he go for the clear? Like, this is a very interesting turn, actually.
He's going to Crackle, I guess. Onto the Mech Warper, clears out that Flame Tongue Totem, and he's just going to leave it there.
Interesting. So he is not playing around Blast Mage. He didn't clear the mech, but then he went for the value, just killing that Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah, it wasn't really necessary to clear the totem there, because once again, Amaz wouldn't have had any minions to attack with a Flame Tongue buff. So he could have cleared the Snow Chugger, that's true.
Do you think we're seeing maybe a little bit of inexperience in the tournament setting creeping up here for SirKristjan?
I mean, this line of play that SirKristjan took is actually fine. It's just different what some other people would do, I guess.
Yeah, I also agree that this wasn't incorrect from SirKristjan. He got some value from this Cogmaster, just killing 1 minion and now being ready to kill some other minion. And we see that this Cogmaster will be able to trade with for free. That's a big deal, actually. There's a mech pickup for SirKristjan, which is great. But I really like Mech Wars. And we are seeing Mech Wars right now, where instead of going for face, there's this delicate trading, and whoever gets an advantage and starts pushing for face, gets the tempo advantage, is going to win this match. Because both players, they have a lot of bursts. Like there's Fireball we see right now, and for SirKristjan, there will be the Doomhammer with Rockbiter and possible Lava Burst.
Yeah, you gotta think about it though. who is favored in this long game, I'm pretty sure that the Mech Mage, the longer the game takes, the more Mech Mage will be favored, especially thanks to cards like Antonidas. If there's always trading going on, and as you see right now, the health points from the heroes have been untouched.
Yeah.
And those big play cards like Antonidas especially will just swing the game in the Mech Mage's favor, I would say.
They are definitely the game swingers if he gets them. But then there is something really important that we can see right now, which is the hero power. And Shaman getting those totems and building up the board, you know, protecting his setup, as we can see right now, protecting his mech, and getting some spell damage from those totems as well. It might turn to be vital.
Yeah, forcing a fireball out of Amaz to clear that minion. And so, back to SirKristjan once again. Azure Drake, really good draw.
Yeah, that's definitely a great card.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Doomhammer.
So
Not bad.
that's SirKristjan's win condition right there.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
even,
so.
It's not even attacking into phase. More than you will be able to trade effectively and shut down the board on the other side. You can take some points of damage, especially because you are still on full health. Just get those great trades with the Doomhammer, killing max, denying any synergies, and then just get enough advantage to push through damage in a couple of turns.
So with the spell power totem coming out, do you think it would have been worth it to maybe crackle the spider tank instead, or would that be overreaching?
That would be too much damage wasted, I think. There's definitely better targets for the crackle. You usually want to do it very late on a very big minion, or just to finish off the game to crackle the face.
Wow,
right.
Rogue Biter being picked up, that's the first Rogue Biter, and I'm always thinking that's so much damage from the Doomhammer, but he's not enough, like this is not enough yet, like just playing this Doomhammer now to be able to kill those minions. You see, it's like already he cleared the board, and he still has the Azure Drake develop, and wow, SirKristjan is actually getting an advantage here.
Yeah, potentially in really good shape. Amaz drawing the Annoyatron. That's going to help him sustain just a bit more. I suppose you drop that along with the spider tank this turn. Just establish the board a bit more. Do you go ahead and give it the +1 attack as well too? Or do you save it for the Antonidas?
I think you have to save it for the Antonidas, but I wouldn't hate it, because you know that one of the best ways to clear this Annoyatron is to attack into it with Doomhammer twice.
Yeah, you're going to do 4 damage conceivably with it.
Yeah, but then again, like 2 points of damage as opposed to a possible Antonidas trigger as uncomparable.
Extra fireballs are not bad.
Power Mace definitely not making SirKristjan happy.
Yep.
Can't play it now.
But soon. There's only like 2 turns away where Doomhammer actually expires.
So Mech Warper is a blank. Amaz is waiting for Dr. Boom or Antonidas, as mentioned. He needs that bomb to be able to seal the game. Mech Warper is not doing too much here. He still has some board, some advantage with the spider tank, but SirKristjan can actually use the Rogue Biter to trade.
Yeah, Amaz is definitely in better shape right now, but both these players stalling out just a little bit. But in this matchup, you kind of expect the game to get to this point, you know, once in a while.
Yeah, if nobody gets an early advantage, it's a third match. Like, both players will be trading, playing those minions, and trying to get damage in.
On Amaz using that +1 attack on the spider tank. He rightly assumes that it's going to take a little while for SirKristjan to possibly remove that.
Yeah, and even if he does, he will most likely have to use his weapons to do so, and he will take even more damage to the face. So that will help Amaz to close out this game earlier with the fireball especially.
Also, Amaz with the Mech Warper top deck, let's say, like getting that Mech Warper, Amaz realized that he's out of cards. He only has this 1 fireball. He already spent 1 fireball before, so he's out of steam. If SirKristjan is going to get an advantage, the only way for Amaz to win is just win with damage. He still has 2 Frostbolts in his deck, but the SirKristjan is able to kill this board, getting lower, but not low enough for Amaz to kill him, and developing his own board. SirKristjan having a huge advantage right now.
Yeah. Amaz with that single fireball and Archmage Antonidas.
If only kept that spare part.
I know,
The
right?
Whirling Blades, he is so sorry that he did that. He can't even activate it with Fireball right now.
Yep. And you know that if the Archmage gets played, it's just going to die. Wow, if he still had that...
A bit more patience.
Spare part, yep.
A bit more patience there. He needed Dr. Boom at this spot. He got one of the win conditions, but he is not ready to take it yet.
Yeah. Spare part would have done it. He would have had 13 damage the next turn with that extra fireball and the hero power. So what do you do if you're Amaz? I suppose you have to hold on to the Archmage, don't you?
But what do you even want to draw? There's like only Frostbolt, and even then... I don't know.
I think you can play
Oh.
Antonidas because it is a minion that is going to soak some damage.
Yeah.
He's going to give you enough time to maybe draw into Dr. Boom to get maybe the Frost Bolts.
That's true.
If you play Antonidas now, you ping face. Do you even ping face? I think you might actually ping the 1/1, which is quite sad.
Yeah. I mean, probably getting the 1/1 out of the way is the best idea, just because, you know, again, it's more damage that would be coming into Archmage Antonidas or into you.
Well, you have a
We'll see
couple
what he
of
does.
options. Like, you can do this. Normally, I would like to ping face because now you're giving yourself a chance to get the Frostbolt, ping, Frostbolt.
Right.
But then other choice was to fireball the biggest minion and then ping the 1/1 and try to get the Frostbolt and play Antonidas Frostbolt next turn. But it's still so difficult. Like, you are really behind and Shaman is starting to deal that damage. Zapomatic is a fantastic
man.
card to get.
It's going to be 10 damage if it survives. And we see a fireball in the hand of Amaz. Is he going to have to use it? There's Dr. Boom,
There's
but
Dr. Boom.
I don't know. You only get 10 mana this turn, man, not 11.
Well, you have
So-
to play it.
Yep. He's going to give it a try. It's a lot of damage coming in.
Again, to
from that
ping the
whirling
bomb and try
Zapomatic.
to kill the Whirlwind Zapomatic. Kill the Sif with a
No
bomb.
way. No
Oh,
way.
Oh, he's still got 23 health. Is it that desperate just yet, do you think?
I
How much
would-
damage is there?
I wouldn't go for that
14.
kind of risky play.
It's a 1 out of 4 to hit it, and then you wonder, you know, it's a 50-50 if you're actually going to be able to do that much damage. He's just going to ping the Whirling Zapomatic, guarantee himself a chance to kill it unless there's a healing totem rolled for his opponent. SirKristjan, though, draws another Power Mace.
That is
Wait, that might be lethal actually, because he will be able to attack with Fire Mace for 3 mana, then drop a Power Mace.
Oh yeah, and it would buff the mech conceivably,
That's
right?
14,
14.
16, 19 points of damage. That's really close.
Close. Very close. SirKristjan counting it up in his head right now.
I guess he could go for it, honestly, though, because then
Trade Boom.
the 2 more attacks from the Power Mace that he has will be enough to deal lethal.
And why not, you know?
Well, also he can trade with Boom if he wants to. Like, attack with the Power Mace, drop the Power Mace, buff the Zapomatic, go 7 for phase. If he feels threatened, kill the Boom, because he can.
Yeah, I think killing the Boom might not be a bad idea, actually. Because if you don't, and the Whirling Zapomatic gets taken out, then suddenly you've got a
Yeah.
7/7 that's really hard to deal with.
The only question right now is pretty much if SirKristjan expects Fireball to be in Amaz's hand, because Amaz had back-to-back 7 drops, so it could pretty much be anything. Except, like, usually
Yeah.
you would think it is Fireball, but considering that Amaz had used up most of his mana crystals.
Oh my god, that's a card.
Wow.
That's a great card for Amaz.
He's still got a Boombot out. That means he's got a mech that he can use this with. Where's it going to go?
Amaz can actually turn around this game.
I think he might be able to. Look at that. Just a Flame Tongue Totem. Boombot's going to whittle that one away. Amaz can finish it off with the hero power.
And SirKristjan is out of cards. He only has his Power Mace and no more burst. He needs something like a Crackle and not to die in 2 turns, but he's dead next turn.
Yep, well, it's Azure Drake. What's the draw going to be? There's really nothing, though, that Shaman can draw to end this one, though.
He needs to roll a Taunt Totem. If there's no Taunt Totem, he might be dead.
Well, he's not even going to give himself the chance. Plays the Pilot Shredder instead. And
That's
that
it.
means that Amaz is going to be able to take game 2 and take a lead in this best of 5.
Wow.
Amaz and another Goblin Blast Mage.
What a spectacular game from Amaz.
No
really
kidding.
hanging there and, you know, playing this Antonidas when he should, getting a Luther Boom, being patient, forcing his opponent to trade, and taking the game.
Yeah.
It was kind of back and forth the whole time, but as I expected, the Mech Mage in the late game, just you see those series of draws that Amaz had, 7 drop into 7 drop into Blast Mage into another Blast Mage, and the burst from the Fireballs to top it all off. It's just, yeah, the Mage just has way bigger force in the late game than the Mech Shaman.
Pretty amazing stuff. Well, that means Amaz is 1 win away from taking this best of 5 here at the ESL Legendary Series. When we come back, we'll see if SirKristjan can tie it up or if Maz is going to go on to the next round. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back at the ESL Legendary Series Finals here at IM Katowice. I'm Doa. With me is Nimsh and Ekop, and right now Amaz up 2-1 against SirKristjan. SirKristjan with the Mech Mage, presumably, and a Mech Shaman that we just saw last game remaining, and Amaz with a Warrior deck. What do you guys think is in it?
Oh man, I think there is a lot of anti-aggro stuff, and if there is, Amaz has a really good chance to win the series. That's why the win with Mech Mage was so important, because getting with Mech Mage into Mech Shaman and into possibly Mech Mage from SirKristjan would be like 50-50. Even though we agreed that, well, we didn't actually agree, but it's kind of like a 50-50 Mech Shaman versus Mech Mage, where, you know, just getting 50-50, you can definitely lose. But Warrior, if it's anti-aggro, and in fact that is a Mech Mage from SirKristjan, you'll have an advantage in both matches.
Right.
And you have 2 matches, and you only need one win.
Yeah, very true. So what kind of things do you think we'll see in this Warrior deck? Bomb Lobber, things like that?
It's actually hard to say because Amaz is known for putting his own spin on decks as well.
True.
And yeah, we've seen the Warrior from Orange. He kind of played the version that he said Zalae played. So I'm pretty sure Amaz will play a different build, because that Warrior that Orange played was kind of unique, and Amaz will just play his own kind of version, which might be more of the traditional Warrior. But we will see. Amaz is always good for a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's always got some new trick up his sleeves. There he is on your screen right now, looking to move on to the semifinals here at the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series.
I really wonder which Warrior is that, because like traditional version is a standard combo that's going into the big creatures with Alexstrasza Brawl, and then there is the new kind of more mid-range version with piloted shredders, even a Sneedle Shredder. So Bomb Lobbers. That's like, what are the cards that Warriors usually play?
Gorehowl sometimes now.
Yeah, well, usually it's always the scenario where Warrior has some sort of early game and obviously a lot of late game, but no real mid game. So often not, you just have those early minions, then they're gone, then you have nothing really in between. You just strike with weapons or do some removal, and after that you drop your late game bombs. On the other hand, mid-range Warrior just kind of wants to builds on the momentum that the early game minions like Armorsmith and Taskmaster can give you, and just want to snowball the game with Frauding Berserkers and Bomb Lobbers. So 2 different strategies. Let's see what kind of strategy Amaz decided to go for.
Well, it's interesting to think about, too, because we do see SirKristjan bringing the Shaman against the Warrior from Amaz, and a lot of these newer Warrior decks have been tailored to remove Baron Geddon, you know, and Baron Geddon was always one of the best cards Warrior had against Shaman. So was Amaz, you know, hoping that maybe SirKristjan would bring out the Mage instead?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, Amaz still has to bring the Warrior. It is his last deck.
It's Conquest.
SirKristjan, whatever he brings, he needs to win with both of the decks. And Shaman originally was always good versus Warrior because you can use weapons to chip in armor and steal the momentum. Where without Baron Geddon, it might be good. Like I'm not even sure if Amaz is playing Brawl. We've seen Forsen not playing Brawl and Geddon before.
Yeah, we'll see. It sounds like the players are loading up, so that means we are going into what could be the last game in this series. Either SirKristjan has to tie it up with this Mech Shaman, or Amaz is going to take it, and there is Baron Geddon right on your screen right now, so I guess that answers that question, including it in there, and I think that's wise. If you're worried about the different aggro decks, you have to think about Mech Shaman. I think it's very smart to keep that in.
What's going to be most important for Amaz in this matchup is that he handles the minions, that he handles everything that SirKristjan can put on the board, and especially the deciding factor is how early he can handle it, because a Whirlwind Zap-O-Matic, as we've seen before, whether it is allowed to attack once or twice or 0 times is often the deciding factor in this matchup.
And true enough. So it's going to be an Annoyatron on turn number 1 for SirKristjan.
And so, what's really important, was, as Ekop said, is that having Fiery War Axe is helping you to trade those early minions. There's no Fiery War Axe from Amaz, but then SirKristjan assumed there might be. So he opened with this Annoyatron to help setting up the Cogmaster after that. If he would open with a Cogmaster, he will be able to deal more damage, but then again, if there's a Fiery War Axe, Cogmaster is going to die.
I think it's and do you think that's a smart idea? It seems like it's better to not take that risk, especially in a match point game like this.
I think it depends on, you can obviously take a look how many cards your opponent mulligans, if SirKristjan paid attention to that. If, for example, Amaz chose to keep 1 card, it would have been most likely to be a Fiery War Axe.
It's true.
So maybe he just saw that Amaz kept 1 card and decided to go for the safer route.
Well, right now SirKristjan is definitely happy. He has an amazing curve. He will be able to choose what is he going to play, and he already has a good setup on the board. Where Amaz, well, not having Fiery War Axe, this Armor Smith is something, but then not really a good turn free play. He mulliganed those Acolytes of Pain. He didn't get them back. BGH is not something you want to play on turn free.
Yeah. I mean, right now, looking at SirKristjan's hand, too, he has a pretty good-looking curve. Do you think you'd go for the Spider Tank or the Harvest Golem here on turn 3? Or maybe the Power Mace, actually, too.
If you attack into this Armor Smith with both minions and you kill it, you will have to face 5 points of armor.
Yeah, I think Power Mace, and then you attack in with the Annoyatron, probably.
I like it, because then next turn you will be able to set up a big mech. Like, even if the Annoyatron is getting killed, you are going to play at least the Piloted Shredder, being a 6/5.
Yeah, and if you get rid of the Power Mace early, then also you play around Harrison Jones that way.
Ah, very true.
Amaz does have that in his hand.
Yep, we'll see if SirKristjan gets rid of that weapon this turn.
This only proves like that SirKristjan is a very experienced player himself. He is not by chance here. Even though this is possibly the most important game in his life, he is making good choices and standing here in front of Amaz.
Yeah, that's a 6/5 Piloted Shredder now. That is absolutely terrifying. Harrison Jones in the hand.
Though.
Oh, sure, yeah. You can hit it with Death Spite and then kill it, of course, with the Death Rattle. Could also go ahead and use his Cruel Taskmaster at Big Game Hunter, I suppose. So yeah, a couple options.
I just love that we have players cameras, by the way. Look at the contrast. Amaz, with all the experience, having the killer stir, no emotion on his face. SirKristjan is all nervous, blinking, trying to go through the plays out loud in his soundproof booth.
Yeah, you can certainly see at least the experience in this type of situation show through for both players. It looks like it will be the Cruel Taskmaster into the Big Game Hunter.
What is it going to be?
Ah, interesting. Weblord again. It's the second time we've seen a Weblord today. He's popular.
Yeah, and Weblord actually, like a tournament like has to before, it was the demise of Forsen. So Weblord definitely a card that wants to pop in and say hi. Hello.
True. There he is.
Weblord is basically saying, hey, I know a Black Rock Mountain is coming out, but remember, next Ramas was cool.
Yeah, don't forget. Do not forget the Weblord. He'll be sad. I like the golden version, though. You'd think he'd run out of webs that he's kind of shooting out of his mouth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Blackrock Mountain does have a lot of battlecry effects, right? So you might see a comeback from Weblord.
No, maybe.
Weblord is going to strike back.
The Weblord meta incoming. Harvest Golem may be the play. Spider Tank's got a little bit more staying power, but I think you gotta... Okay, yep. Going ahead. Getting rid of that Big Game Hunter. And an Execute. Interesting. Okay, so Sylvanas, you've got the money for that. Sludge Belcher, though, do you think would be a safer play here?
Well, first you would probably just attack it before. You want to deny the mech. You want to set up the... I think Amaz is pretty happy with this. And
should be.
I like Sludge Belcher. Sylvanas is okay as well. Like it's not that Shaman is playing Hex. Like this kind of Shaman is actually not playing Hex.
Yeah.
And this is a version that Amaz's teammate Firebat, the world champion, played before. And Amaz knows the list. He knows what's in it, and he knows what's not in it.
Taunt Totem, and there's a Whirling Zap-O-Matic, so possibly going to live to another turn, and that may be a little bit scary for Amaz.
Well, that Taunt Totem is really important because Sylvanas won't be able to kill it unless Amaz gets a weapon. Now it changed.
Yeah, he can actually get in there with the weapon. Get in there with Sylvanas. And it is really vital to kill that Whirling Zap-O-Matic as well, too, because that's the minion. We talked about this earlier. That's the minion that changes games for Mech Shaman.
Oh, yeah, certainly. If Amaz wouldn't be able to deal with it, with double Rock Biter, that small guy will be able to deal 18 points of damage.
Yeah.
And that's almost lethal.
It's terrifying, actually, to think about that. That is, well, I mean, if the web spinner's still around, that is lethal then, right? Because 18 plus 1, that'd be 19.
But there is like no way. Amaz is going to deal with this board easily. He has the weapon, he has... Well,
you never want to miss potential lethal, though, right? Twitch chat has taught me that.
Yes. Yep. If there is an Earthshock top deck, Amaz just died. Wait. No, there's no Earthshock in this deck, I believe. But maybe with...
Azure Drake. Web spinner working against SirKristjan now. He's going to have to sacrifice it, yep.
And the Bomb Lover to follow it up, 15
and
chance.
He misses.
4 damage.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's like you then taught him up and pass.
I guess so. I mean, that's all you do.
That was really important. That bomb, he needed that bomb to be able to deal with the Belcher.
Yeah.
Go with some damage. Right now, Amaz has all the tools he needs.
Wow, and even another armor smith
he can even steal one of his minions.
Yeah, just steal the free two.
Steal the Zap-O-Matic, kill him with his own mech.
Oh, of course, man.
Get the boom.
And Dr. Boom enters Amaz. It's looking like he may have this one locked up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Well, Mech Warper a little bit late to the party here. We'll see what Azure Drake draws. Oh, another Mech Warper. Hey, at least they follow the buddy system, right? That's SirKristjan kind of on autopilot now.
Yeah, that's the only thing he can do. He can just spawn minions now, but he's behind. He has no mechanism to come back. There is no Lightning Storm in this deck, I believe.
What's the damage on the board? 12 plus 6, 18. Not quite enough yet, but it's going to be over pretty soon. Up.
Yeah, with that armor smith, Amaz will just gather a ton of armor.
Yep.
Just take the game from there.
Yeah, certainly looking that way.
Well, that's 21 points of damage with the weapon in, so... Actually, there was some weird play with weapon to... No, alright.
I mean, if the bombs sort of hit, even then, I don't think you quite have lethal with that. But
alright, so SirKristjan starting at the last turn with his Shaman deck.
Yep, and his last turn here at the ESL Legendary Series as well, as he sees the damage come in from Amaz. And the Power Mace, not going to do a whole lot. So SirKristjan 3-0ing StrifeCro in the round of 16, but now going down 3-1 to Amaz here in the quarterfinals. Amaz takes that best of 5, and he will move on to the semis.
Amazing play by Amaz. Amazing lineup, really well played. Amaz is known as a control player. Well, Amaz is actually playing everything. Like, he's good with aggro decks, mid-range decks, control decks. And, you know, going for SirKristjan is really important. He gets to top 4. He will be able to continue playing. And Amaz is still trying to get another win. Like, Amaz didn't win that many tournaments after the long win streak that he had. He is still the champion of IEM Shenzhen, so he is basically the reigning IEM champion for now. So this tournament is very important to him, as
and
well as
listen to this ovation. Listen to this ovation of the crowd. Amaz definitely the favorite here, and the people are celebrating him for his victory.
Yep.
Definitely well deserved. But also you have to give it up to SirKristjan, because he had an incredible road to get to this point, even culminating in beating StrifeCro. And he could have upset Amaz, but Amaz's lineup was just too good.
Yeah, absolutely. A great match. And when we come back, guys, we're going to have an interview with our winner, Amaz, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the ESL Legendary Series after this.